From the bustling streets of Athens and the historic port of Hydra, to the beaches of Zakynthos and the villages of Kythera, our journey over the coming weeks spans many of the Ionian islands. Some well known, others that few ever get to visit. But before heading off, you probably want to know a little bit about me. My story starts as a boy growing up in the inner suburbs of Sydney. Like a lot of Greeks early last century, my parents moved overseas to find a better life abroad. They arrived with very little and worked extremely hard to give my sisters and I a loving upbringing. They also made me believe that if I too worked hard enough, I could achieve anything. 54 years later, I've built a successful business, and that has enabled me to do things I once only dreamed of. One of those dreams was to step foot on all 227 inhabited Greek islands, and I'm going to take a big chunk out of that in this first series. In the last episode, I finished my time on Kythera before upping anchor and making a move to the spectacular island of Zakynthos. Being my family home, it's always hard to leave, but where I was headed had me really excited. Next stop was a place that rivals the most stunning beaches on the planet, the famed Shipwreck Cove, otherwise known as Navajo Beach. The white sand, azure water, and towering cliffs are spectacular. This episode sees me exploring the foundations of the island a little deeper. But before doing that, I have a quick side trip that will take me into the blue at a dive site few get the opportunity to explore. Then it's back to Zakynthos to try the local wine and produce, meet some of the resident turtle population, and explore the heart of the island. Most people only know it for the beaches, but there's a lot more to this place than you'd expect. I always wake up early. On this occasion, it was a good thing in more ways than one. Apart from the sunrise being absolutely magic, I'd received an email overnight from someone very important in the world of Greek archaeology. The head of the effort of underwater antiquities, Miss Simosi, had invited me to put on the scuba gear and go for a dive at a very special place, the columns of Pylos. It was the opportunity of a lifetime, and I wasn't going to miss it. What we see in front of us is Navarino, where the last battle was fought between sailing ships, right here in the 1820s. And over to my right, that's it there, Captain.
Yes.
That's Neokastro. And that is where we're going now, to this wonderful museum on underwater antiquities. And we hope to do a dive this afternoon if the weather's good. Pylos is a large port town and generally not an overly busy tourist spot. Mind you, it probably should be. There's a lot going on here, including ancient ruins from Mycenaean times. It's the only place in Greece that has a museum dedicated to the effort of underwater antiquities. They are specialists at unearthing hidden treasures, lost to the sea and buried beneath silt. I'm walking up to a castle known as Neokastro. Neokastro is Greek for new castle, and you're probably saying not another castle, but this is not just another castle. Behind these walls is the Museum for Underwater Antiquities. And underwater archaeology is really the last frontier of investigation into archaeology in Greece. There's so much to be seen. We're going to go and meet Miss Simosi, a very staunch lady. She's the head of that department. Built in the 15th and 16th centuries, the castle has an outer wall, entered via an imposing gateway. Inside, it opens up to reveal an expansive area where the townspeople would have lived in relative safety from invaders. The fortress itself is great to explore, with the remnant towers, old cannons and stone buildings providing a sense of its past glory. Central to the grounds are some beautifully restored buildings that house a collection telling the story of Greece's underwater treasures. The restoration work and museum were initially the idea of Yorgos Papathanosopoulos, the first curator of the effort of underwater antiquities. His legacy was continued by others, most recently by this lady, Angeliki Simosi. I'm lucky enough to be here with the head of the underwater effort, Mrs. Simosi. She looks after 60 people in her department. Κυρία Simosi, γιατί κάνεις αυτή τη δουλειά αρχαιολογική?
Ήταν μια επιθυμία του πατέρα μου από τότε που ήμουν 4 χρονών και δεν μπορούσα να κάνω πίσω. Αλλά ύστερα στην εφορία εναλίων με διάλεξε η ίδια η εφορία. Πήγα από 26 χρονών κορίτσι μέχρι σήμερα που είμαι 61 χρονών.
61 χρονών?
Ναι.
Unbelievable. She's been doing this for a long time. I can't say how old she is though, not on camera. Ωραία. Όπως βλέπω είναι σκληρή δουλειά αυτή κιόλας. Πώς το κάνεις? Γυναίκα, 60... προσωπικό, πώς γίνεται?
Είναι σκληρή δουλειά, αλλά είναι έρωτας, δεν είναι δουλειά. Είναι ένα πάθος που έχω που δεν θα σταματήσει ποτέ και δεν θέλω και να πάρω και σύνταξη.
Her commitment has to be commended. A life lived with such passion is something we all aspire to. In the collection of fascinating treasures you'll find nowhere else. There's a diverse range of things to look at, spanning hundreds of years of civilization. It's amazing. I look at this and I see the delicate job that archaeologists have. The unification of infants in burial was quite popular in antiquity, and I can see the detailed work that's involved in bringing this stuff to the surface. It's amazing. As a result of the recent global financial crisis, the underwater effort has gone from 180 staff to just 60. Wages are low, and there are only 6 senior dive archaeologists that have to not only explore, but protect what's been discovered. And there is so much in Greek waters yet to be found. Despite the financial limitations they face and the mammoth job at hand, they work harder than ever. It's not the picture you typically hear about Greeks. They're about to go on the dive. 61-year-old woman, Greek woman, having a go. That's fantastic. I love this. Such is Miss Simos's love of the underwater world and the lost antiquities hidden there that today, despite no longer being in her youth, she still dives on these ancient sites. I guess I would too. When you see these remarkable places, it gives you an adrenaline rush. It creates a sense of wonder that you only get from seeing such unique and spectacular things. This particular location is known as the Shipwreck of Columns. It's only 10 metres beneath the surface, just off Cape Spitha. It was first found by fishermen back in the 1920s, and research through the years has been able to piece together their story. The columns are made of a type of granite that's found in Egypt and only certain parts of Greece. It's thought they came from a building that had either been demolished or collapsed. They cover a large area dotting the seafloor, with a small concentration of them a short distance from the rest. It's believed the ship transporting them was caught in rough seas, and as it pitched and rolled, the columns gradually started to roll overboard. Eventually, the ship almost capsized, sending the rest of its cargo to the murky depths. Not far from the Shipwreck of Columns is another sunken ruin. Only this ship had a much darker cargo. It was laden with several stone sarcophagi. They're quite big, with lids and carved sides. The decorations are simple, with floral motifs and designs typical of the Roman period. It's estimated that the ship sank in the 3rd century AD, so for them to still be in such great condition is remarkable. As much as I love diving on beautiful reefs or swimming amongst schools of fish, I often find sites like this to be more amazing. Knowing that these were made by human hands centuries ago and now reclaimed by Mother Nature in such a dramatic way creates a theatrical story that inspires curiosity. Having spent some time in the water with Mrs. Simosi, I can appreciate why she's still so passionate. After diving on the columns, I was buzzing for days afterwards. It might have been a long side trip, but it was well worth the effort. We spent what was left of the day relaxing in the area, and then it was back to Zakynthos to continue my exploration of the island. So far, we had only scratched the surface, and I was keen to see a bit more of what it had to offer. The beaches are great, but there's plenty more to see and do, things that you don't often hear about. Of particular interest was the turtle sanctuary. Despite being one of the busiest tourist destinations in the country, the island is still an incredibly important turtle nesting site. It's actually the largest such place in the Mediterranean. It's a challenge for the local marine parks people, who are responsible for the well-being of their annual visitors, the loggerhead turtle. How many nests are there in all of Laganas Bay?
About 1,000 nests.
And
the average of a
nest, how many eggs are in each nest?
About 120 eggs is the average of the eggs that we have in one nest.
And so what is the survival rate? I would have thought there'd be... That's a lot of turtles, isn't it? That's a lot of turtles coming out.
That's a lot of turtles, yeah.
How many survive?
It's going to be hatched 60-70% of one nest. And from the hatchlings that they will go to the sea, it's going to be survive 1 to 2 in 1,000.
In 1,000?
Yes.
Wow. Irini, I see planes landing just over here. There's tourists everywhere. There's beach chairs. There's a hotel here. There's a disco going. And we have a turtle's nest here. Many turtles' nests, actually. How do you protect all these turtles? How do you protect the nests?
It's difficult to protect this nest.
You must be constantly telling people to move.
Yeah. We have to do that all the time. The most of the time when we are working, we're working for 8 hours, and the most of the time we inform all the visitors that we have in one beach, in one area, and we give them leaflets. And if somebody don't understand from the first time, we have to say it again and again.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Irini, you've been doing this all your working life. You're a Zakynthos. You're from...
I'm local, yeah.
You're a local. Your life has been dedicated to protecting the turtles. It's a wonderful thing. How do you think you've gone from when you started 17 years ago to now? Is it getting better? Are there more hatchlings?
It's getting better, yes. We have now more nests than we had when I started. One good year, it was about 800 nests. And last year, for example, it was very good year for Zakynthos. We found about 1,600 nests.
In 17 years, you've almost doubled the amount of nesting that's happening here, which is a fantastic thing. I know because I see the turtles everywhere I go. I've seen them in Kythera, I've seen them in Monenvasia. How far do they go around the world? How far?
We don't know where they are going, the small, the huts with the babies, when they gone from here.
Right. Irini has a challenging job, made all the more frustrating by the ignorance of some of the visitors. As we walk along the beach, there are numerous nests, each cordoned off and signposted. But some people feel the need to kick the signs over or even steal them. The worst thing is having to tell people they need to move. Of course, with tourists coming from around the world, there's going to be the occasional language barrier, but you'd hope people would exercise more common sense.
National Marine Park. You understand? Here problem? No. You stay close to the sea.
Watching Irini trying to explain to this lady that she was lying inside the exclusion zone was excruciating.
No,
I even got involved, but it was to no avail. If I had to do what Irini does, my methods would be swift and merciless. I think I'd be out of a job pretty quickly. I really have to hand it to these guys. They persist despite all the challenges they face.
So you can't use this one. No.
They don't do it for themselves, but for the survival of the loggerhead turtles. With only a few sites like this left in Greece, it's paramount that we protect them. It's a thankless task. Day in, day out, it's the same routine. The thing is, turtles return to the beach they were born on to nest, so they can't simply relocate them. Also, it's an unfortunate reality that the nesting season falls right at the peak of the tourist period, and some folks either don't notice the signs or simply don't care. It's a good thing there are people like Irini that do. For those who are keen to see the turtles, there are plenty of boats to take you to view them in their natural habitat. The best place to do this is on the tiny island of Odyssey. Here you're spoilt for choice and can hop on a normal vessel or even a glass-bottom one. Apart from the turtles, people and tour boats, there's something else on Odyssey there's no shortage of. The periptero, or the kiosk, is on every corner in Greece. They're even on this tiny little island of Odyssey. And there's not one, there's 5! You know, George, Andrea, you know what I don't understand? There's 5 shops like this here now.
Yeah.
And it's a little beach.
Yeah.
How do you do business here?
We make a deal.
Oh, you make a deal?
We make a deal. We are here today. Tomorrow we go down there.
Ah, right, okay.
After tomorrow we're going on the back.
Yes.
And in the 5 days,
Yep.
1 day off.
Ah, that's good, that's good. And is it mainly Greeks that come here, or mainly Greeks, or where do they come from?
No. Greeks, they come here only in August and
Yep.
in Sundays.
Right, okay.
All the time it's tourists.
And Andrea, why do they come to this tiny little island of Odyssey? There's all of Lagana here. Why do they come
Because
here?
they see the turtles in the water first.
Ah.
And after they come here to see the place where the turtles born the eggs.
Right, okay. These floating periptera are brilliant. You can have a swim, check out the turtles, sunbathe, then grab a cold drink and ice cream, all the while walking little more than 50 metres. What a magic spot. You'll notice very few boats are here and there's no one at anchor. It's done to protect the seagrass that turtles feed on. It's awesome to think that people might have been in Zakynthos for a few millennia, but turtles have been coming here for millions of years. We're just behind the main square in Zakynthos, and hidden behind here is this wonderful little gem. Not many people know about it, but most Greeks know that the best nougat in Greece, possibly the world, is here in Zakynthos at this very shop. And if I don't take some back with me, my brother-in-law's going to kill me. Τι έχουμε εδώ μέσα, Διονύση?
Εδώ μέσα έχουμε το παραδοσιακό μαντολάτο, το οποίο περιέχει ασπράδι αυγού, μέλι και λίγη ζάχαρη.
Ωραία. Και πόση ώρα είναι εκεί?
Είναι από τις 4 η ώρα το πρωί.
Man, that's been mixing like that for 4 hours. Unbelievable. Fantastic.
Είμαστε στο τελειωτικό στάδιο.
Ναι.
Σε 1-2 λεπτά θα βάλουμε και τα αμύγδαλα μέσα και θα είμαστε έτοιμοι να απολαύσουμε αυτό το παραδοσιακό γλυκό της Zakynthos.
We're just about to put the almonds in and we're ready to take it out, which is fantastic. We got here just in time. It's unbelievable. Αυτό τι είναι, τι έβαλες μέσα τώρα?
Αυτό είναι μυστικό. Είναι
okay.
μυστικό χρόνων.
Okay, all right. That's a secret. He won't tell me what he's putting in right now, but there's not much of it, so is it going to make much of a difference? The local nougat is known as Mandolato. It originated in Venice, but Zakynthos is famed for it. You're going to turn it off now, but he said I can actually stick my finger in. I think you should turn off while I'm doing that.
No. Muy caro.
Oh!
Try again.
Όχι με το ίδιο. Not with the same one. I took a big chunk. You're supposed to turn off while I'm doing this. That's awesome. So what he's doing now, he's getting the nougat from the bowl and just stretching it out on these discs. They're actually flour and water.
Yeah,
Look at that, that's not on my hands. Hopper. And it just goes into the upper room where it's going to cool down. This is awesome. There's a whole process that I'm part of at the moment.
Εκτός από εστιατόριο έχεις κάνει και τερματοφύλακας. Τα πιάνεις πολύ καλά, βλέπω.
He said if I've worked in a kitchen, but I've also worked as a goalkeeper. Come and have a look at this, awesome. Everything you see here is done as it was 100 years ago, except for the mixer. In the old days, the mixing was done using an oar from a boat. One man would start the process, and as it got harder, more would help. After 4 hours, there would be 5 guys stirring the pot. Now that's hard work.
Take this.
Okay, I'm going to learn how to do this now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Λύγησέ το. Πίεσε τα δάχτυλά σου εδώ να πάρει φόρμα. Πολύ ωραία. Γύρισε το ανάποδα και πίεσε στο μάρμαρο.
Ναι.
Και από την άλλη μεριά. Πολύ ωραία.
Man, I'm a pro.
Πάρα πολύ ωραία.
Ναι.
Αυτό. Το πιέζουμε λίγο ακόμα.
I think mine's better than his actually, but anyway.
It's okay. για πρώτη φορά είσαι πολύ καλός.
Ναι.
Και τώρα είναι έτοιμο να το περάσουμε από τη φόρμα.
Εγώ είμαι εργολάβος, γι' αυτό τα κάνω εγώ. This is like a brick. This is like a brick. Σαν τούβλο είναι.
Σαν τούβλο είναι, ακριβώς. Εκεί. Έλα λοιπόν να το βάλεις και εδώ στη φόρμα.
Ναι.
Να το περάσεις. Πολύ ωραία. Πίεσε το λίγο με το ξύλο για να έρθει.
Έλα, στο να το κάνω εγώ.
Έτσι, μπράβο. Έτσι να ξεκουραστώ κι εγώ λίγο. Να έρθεις και αύριο.
He wants me to come back. Hang on a second. I'm not that good.
Πολύ ωραία. Εκεί. Τέλεια.
That was awesome.
Πολύ ωραία.
Πολύ ωραία. Να κάνω κι άλλο.
Keep working.
He said, get me back here. Yeah. These guys do this not only to earn a living, but out of passion. They've been making nougat for generations, and there are few people left with the knowledge and experience they possess, producing this delicious product. It's incredible just how much work goes into it. This looks awesome. Look at the colour, look at the texture. Μυρωδιά, the smell is fantastic. Μοσκοβολάνε,
Μέλι. Επειδή έχει μέλι γι' αυτό.
It's the honey. It's the honey. Και το αμύγδαλο.
Και το αμύγδαλο που είναι καμπουρδισμένο.
You see the almond has cut through. So you're getting the aroma of the almond and the honey together. Δεν μπορώ να το φάω τώρα,
Φάτο, γιατί δεν μπορείς.
Φάω τώρα. I'm going to have some right now.
Ωραία,
Πρέπει να κάνω δουλειά μου. I tell you, mate, that is awesome. Δεν μπορείς να κάνεις δουλειά και να τρως.
Για να τρως όχι.
You can't eat and do this at the same time for two reasons.
Αλλά είσαι πολύ γρήγορος όμως.
For two reasons. One, I'd end up this big, and two, you wouldn't do the job properly.
Ένα, 2 and the easy way. Up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's okay. Πολύ καλό για πρώτη φορά. 1, 2 και τα λοιπά.
And this is not speeding up. It's not speeding up the camera. This is real. Keep that back, Michael.
Πρέπει να προσέξεις τα δάχτυλά σου και τα κλείσεις μέσα. 1500 κομμάτια κάνουμε έτσι.
1,500 pieces will do today, and it'll take about an hour and a half. Or if I was doing them, about 3, 4 weeks. Yeah, weeks. We set it together. The key to keeping it fresh, Saki's saying, is leave it in your fridge. Fantastic. Λοιπόν, πρέπει να φύγω τώρα. Να πάρω κανένα κουτί για το...
Περίμενε. Τώρα, όλη την ώρα έκανες εσύ αυτό που ήθελες. Τώρα θα κάνω αυτό που θέλω εγώ.
No worries. Τι θες να κάνω?
Κάνε τα χέρια σου έτσι. Εντάξει.
Okay.
Alright.
This is for my work.
Αυτό είναι για τη δουλειά σου και για ένα ευχαριστώ. Okay.
Hey, Tom, you waiting?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In the peak of the summer season, this is a busy town. It swells with visitors from Greece and abroad, most of which come for the beaches. But there's one thing the island is famous for that a lot of outsiders are likely unaware of, and that's the poets and writers born here. The Venetian influence meant that education has always been a priority in Zakynthos, and a spin-off of that was that the arts thrived. Out of the many authors that have called this island home, of particular note is Dionysios Solomos, the poet who wrote the national anthem. He's immortalised for his patriotic song that evokes the history and culture of Greece, and subsequently many statues, one of which stands in the centre of town. In these parts and across the country, his story has become legend.
Around 1821, during the War of Independence, of course fighting the Ottomans, he became a very important person because they say that he sat here in this place and wrote the poem that became the national anthem. He heard the gunfire on the mainland between the rebellion army and the Ottomans, and he was inspired.
Wow.
And he wrote the words to the national anthem.
It's an awesome anthem too. I love anthems. I don't know what it is. I love the Australian anthem. I love the Greek anthem. I actually like the American anthem. There's something about him, but to know that he actually wrote it here. I understand his house is just over there somewhere.
Yes, they say it was over there. Yes, yeah.
Fantastic. And there's a few Greek flags. You think they've got enough Greek flags here? Amazing. I want to go and sit down where he sat. Dionysius created a poem that encapsulates the passion and culture of Greece in powerful words. It's this rich heritage and the fervour of the people that helps make this such a great country. It's so good, in fact, that many of those that leave find themselves drawn back again. A perfect example of this is my neighbour Jim, who is also a great friend. He was born in Zakynthos and at a young age, over 60 years ago, left for a better life in Australia. He married, raised a family and made a success of himself. But for the last 30 years, he split his life between the two countries. It's not that he prefers one over the other, it's because this is his birthplace and he feels a tangible connection here. You know, Jim, when you told me that you have a house in Zakynthos that's 3 kilometres from the beach, and yet you live 100 metres from the beach in Australia, I could never understand why you keep coming back here. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Well, yes, it is. It's beautiful here, beautiful in Australia as well. But Greece, it's our country. It's inside our heart. We're born here, you know. It's a beautiful island, Zakynthos. We've got everything. We've got olives. If you see all these trees here.
They're all your trees?
Yes, we grow.
I never understood, Jim, but until you come here, you don't appreciate that it's still, the life is easy here. You know, you're living from the land.
That's right. You know, it's a different type of life of Australia. right? Australia is good. Yeah, I don't say it's very nice. We have a good spot there in Clovelly Beach, but this is different. We break the life in two.
Yeah.
Half in Australia and half in Greece.
You've got the life.
That's
Jim,
right.
you've got the life.
Yeah. So that's why we're here every year.
Yes.
Every year. The climate, it's every day it's 32 degrees for months and months. Not up and down like Australia, but we put up with it, yeah? And we spend more years in Australia, but we never forgot the country.
Now tell me, Jim,
Yeah.
do you have some olive oil from your olive trees here at the moment?
Yes, of course. I've got a, ready.
Well, we better have some now. You've got something to eat. Let's go, let's go. Come on, come on. It's amazing how you can have strong cultural and personal ties to a place, even many decades after having left. For some, they can depart the place of their birth and feel perfectly at ease for the rest of their lives. Others long for the sounds, smells and flavours of their youth and feel most at ease when in the land of their heritage. Greeks often fall into the latter category. I don't know if it's because of the unique culture or landscapes, or just that we're a romantic people with an intrinsic bond to our homeland. Whatever the case, Jim keeps coming back to maintain a connection to his past. There's no denying the attraction to a simple life in an island paradise. Here things move slowly, and the people celebrate their heritage in a way that only Greeks do. Song, dance, fantastic food and community spirit are foundations of the country. These traditions are most apparent in the small towns and islands away from the major centres. Out here, it's all about tradition. It extends into the way that people lead their lives, the food they eat, and even the age-old farming practices. Watching the singing and dancing took me back to my childhood. Coming to Greece with my family and being immersed in the culture, it was a wonderful time in my life and helped shape the man I've become. I hope that by sharing these same experiences with my son, that he too will grow to appreciate the simple things in life and come to embrace his Greek heritage. Most people don't associate Greece with great wine, and when it comes to the islands, it seems even less likely you'll come across a quality drop. But that couldn't be further from the truth. While the popularity of Greek wine may not match that of what comes out of France or California, you'll discover that in many cases, it certainly holds its own, if you're just willing to give it a try. I've come to probably one of the most sustainable locations in the world. Here in the centre of Zakynthos is just a wonderful farm where Andoni makes his own wine from his own grapes, his own olive oil from his own olives, his own meat from his own chickens. He does absolutely everything, and not only does he do it for himself, but people come from all over Zakynthos to eat at his farm.
Εδώ είναι τα κρασιά που φτιάχνουμε εδώ η οικογένεια και παιδευόμαστε χρόνια με αυτά. Ανάβω φως.
We're going to go and check his wines out.
Λοιπόν, φίλε μου,
Look at these beauties.
έχουμε κρασιά εδώ με τοπικές ποικιλίες. Αυτή είναι βερδαία,
So we're trying the white first.
η οποία είναι με ρομπόλα, παύλο και γουστουλίδι, κλασική συνταγή για το
It's a
ζακυνθινό
classic
κρασί.
recipe with 3 different grape types. Robola is one of them, comes from
Όταν είναι
Kefalonia.
όριμη, πρασινίζει και λίγο στο ποτήρι, είναι λίγο πράσινη,
Ναι.
green.
A little bit green. A little bit
Και αρκετά ενισχυμένο σε αλκοόλ και σε έντονες.
That is super smooth. I could drink this all day. It is just a wine to drink with your dinner. Και
Αν
τώρα
θέλεις μπορεί να
we're
δοκιμάσεις ένα κόκκινο κρασί.
going to try red now. I think I'm trying a little bit more than I should try it.
Πάλι με τοπικές ποικιλίες.
Once
Εγώ
again,
εδώ ενοποιούμε με αυγουστιάδι που είναι η βασική ποικιλία
Yes.
που κάνει το κόκκινο κρασί. Το συγκεκριμένο όμως έχει και κατσακούλια μέσα και κοστουμπέλι. Αυτό είναι ένα υπέροχο προϊόν, χειμωνιάτικο περισσότερο και αρέσει και στις γυναίκες πολύ.
τι άλλο θα δούμε τώρα.
Μπορούμε να δεις και τα μπέλια επί τόπου
Πάμε στα μπέλια,
που έχει τα μπέλια που φτιάχνουμε.
We're going to go and see the vines where this wine comes from. Greeks have been making wine longer than pretty much anyone else. This means that the consumption of it has become part of the culture. A glass of red with lunch or dinner is relatively common. It's also led to a huge variety in the types of wines produced. Every region and even island produces their own style with influences from the climate, soil and techniques, giving them vast differences in flavour.
He's got this whole valley is his farm. No chemicals, only manure from the chickens, the horses and the animals. It's right in front of us. I'm looking at it right now. Κοίτα εδώ.
Πάρεις και μπαντήσεις. Αυτή είναι η ποικιλία ο Αυγουστιάτης που κάνει το μαύρο Zakynthos κρασί.
I tell you, these grapes. I've been to my fair share of wineries, and the grapes are always, I know they don't taste good. Maybe because they're made for wine, but these guys, not only is the wine good, but the grapes are awesome. Oh. Αυτά είναι σίκα εκεί πέρα.
Ναι.
Oh, mate, we just spotted some pigs. We're gonna go and check them out. I'll grab it.
Here's a beauty. Let's check this guy out. Now look how soft he is. Look at that. Oh, είναι καλά. Καλό είναι.
Oh, mate, that είναι μέλι,
Μέλι, ναι.
honey. See, they're small figs, right? But they're natural. There's no chemicals, no nothing. I tell you. Έχουμε άλλα.
Έχουμε εκείνο είναι καλά.
Πάνω.
Κάτι να ανέβει εδώ πάνω. Περίμενε.
You need to be a bit of an acrobat.
Almost everything Adonis eats comes from his small farm. If he can't grow it or raise it himself, he swaps with other local producers or buys it from neighbours. It's an environmentally friendly, paddock-to-plate culinary lifestyle with the freshest and most flavoursome food you could imagine. And let's not forget that beautiful wine. The following morning we left Zakynthos for the second time. Only on this occasion there would be no coming back. Our route saw us travelling along the weathered coastline of the island as we made our way north to Kefalonia. It's a short but spectacular cruise with a couple of spots worth checking out along the way. The White Cliffs have been pounded by nature's fury for countless years. The result is a dramatic and rugged coastline dotted with caves and arches. For the most part, the weather and cruising conditions are fairly predictable, and if things do get rough, you can alter your course to hide between the islands on the leeward side, where things are calmer. Today we were blessed with perfect conditions.
We're checking out the Kerry Caves, but it's not what I thought it'd be. But there's some better caves a bit further up called the Blue Caves. I think they're called the Blue Caves anyway. It's where you can swim through this crack. Let's go and check them out. What I like about these is that these caves are being created into tunnels. In 1,000 years' time, someone's going to be able to swim through that to the other side. Good luck to them. I love the nature here on the west coast of Zakynthos because it's so rugged here. The westerlies that come across here create massive cave formations underneath, and over the last 1,000 years you can see that along here the rock has collapsed above those caves and little formations have stayed up that survived. And above those formations that have survived, birds have come and nested and they've crapped or pooed their little seeds that they've eaten elsewhere, and those seeds have formed into the rock and they've created little bushes all the way along here. And another ecosystem is being created. It's absolutely awesome. I love it. I love it. Let's keep going, eh? The thing about the Kerry Caves is that there are caves that go right through some of these massive rock formations. And there's a crack you can see just over there. I'm going to try and swim through that right now. Now I'm going to jump in. I'm actually not going to go first. Cameraman's going to go first just to make sure it's okay. I'm just jumping in for the camera.
Mother Nature has a way of humbling you. I might construct huge buildings that tower over the streets below, but they're nothing in comparison to the ever-changing natural wonders you encounter throughout the world. In 1,000 years from now, when my buildings have given way to new developments, I like to think that these marvels will still be amazing people, just like they do today. The transit from Zakynthos to Kefalonia was only a few hours at sea. Thanks to the passing scenery, the time passed quickly, and before I knew it, we were cruising into port. You can immediately tell that it's a busy place. However, being such a large and mountainous island, there's plenty of opportunity to get away from it all, either along the coast or the fertile interior.
We've travelled up the Ionian Sea from Zakynthos into Kefalonia. This is Argostoli, and the colours here are absolutely magnificent. I like Kefalonia. My age, this is my place. Not to say that Zakynthos is not a good place. It's probably more for someone that's a bit of a night owl and likes the nightlife. This place, it's for nature lovers. The people are fantastic. It's a great place to see, and I'm looking forward to travelling through Kefalonia. We're in the centre of Argostoli, which is the capital of Kefalonia. And I'm talking to Panagiki, who tells me that we really don't know where the name comes from, which is not really Greek, because Greeks know where everything comes from. They think that every word has come from the Greek, and they don't even know here where the word Argostoli has come from. Λοιπόν, πόσος κόσμος έχει?
40.000 κατοίκους μόνιμους.
40,000. It's just like Zakynthos, Kefalonia. Και ελιές
1.100.000 ελαιόδεντρα.
Μπράβο, μπράβο.
One of the most well-known structures in Argostoli is the Drapano Bridge. It's also known as the Bosse Bridge, named after the Swiss engineer who built it.
You know, I love the passage of time and what it does in technology. This bridge, this limestone bridge, was built in 1816. It took 14 years to build to connect Argostoli town to the mountains over there. But what's amazing is that they could have run a road all the way around here, but they didn't. They built this bridge. What's even more special is that that swamp over there was that infested with mosquitoes that they brought eucalyptus trees from Australia to stop the mosquito deluge.
There's a lot to see in this town, particularly for a guy like me who loves architecture and feats of engineering. And just up the road is a curiosity I had to have a look at.
Just 2 kilometres north of Argostoli and just across from Lixouri is this maze of water running into the mountainside, and it actually runs through a geological formation under the earth, some 15 kilometres to the other side of the island, comes out in Melisani Caves and some other places. And the reason they know that is because in 1963, they placed 160 pounds of dye through here, waited a couple of weeks and saw it come out the other end. If you can't find this spot, the marker is that beautiful lighthouse over there. It's called Agios Theodoros. It was built in the 1800s by the British. Doesn't look British, they're Doric columns. It looks very, very Greek. In actual fact, it's been repaired a number of times. It still works, and if you come here at night, you'll see this beautiful ambient light coming from there. Right behind me and across from Argostoli is a town called Lixouri. And the ferry you see there, the car ferry, goes back and forth all day long, 365 days a year. It costs you €3 for you to go from Argostoli to Lixouri. And if you want to take your car, it's an extra €1.
This brings me to a quick story about the rivalry between the two towns. Back in 1757, the capital was moved from Lixouri to Argostoli because the latter of the two had a better port. Those in Lixouri felt hard done by, as many of the government services and therefore money and work left the once affluent town. The rivalry has been immortalised in paintings, poems and songs, and continues still today.
Spiro feeds this turtle regularly, and like the humans come here to the cafe, so do the turtles. That turtle's a good-sized turtle, looks like it's between 25 and 40 years old. There's plenty of them around here. And you know, as we talked about before, they nest in Zakynthos.
Who wouldn't like to swim with him?
Oh, you'd love to swim with him, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Eh? That's why we come here, to see things like this, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Sweden.
Sweden? You like it here in Argostoli in Kefalonia?
Yes.
Is this your first time?
Yes, absolutely.
Will you come back?
We had a hard time driving a car here in the...
Why is that?
In the city. It's very crowded and small
yes,
roads.
Of course,
narrow roads.
With all the tourism that happens, doesn't it? You know.
Yeah.
But you've got to live with those little things, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. A bit warmer than Sweden, isn't it?
A bit.
A bit warmer. Yeah.
After just a handful of hours in Kefalonia, I can already tell that this is going to be a fantastic week. It's the biggest island in the Ionian, and spread around the coast and interior are lots of towns and natural wonders that I can't wait to explore. From Argostoli, you can see that it's very different from what I've encountered so far. The mountains tower in the distance, and at the lower altitudes, the rich soil means plants thrive, creating a vibrant green that contrasts with the blue of the surrounding sea. It's a diverse landscape that's been inhabited for over 3,000 years, and with that comes a fascinating history. Next episode, my time on Kefalonia continues. I'm going to explore the stunning Melisani Lake, a place of both myth and beauty. There's only a few such formations found on the planet, and it's one of the more popular sites for tourists. I'm also going to meet a couple of the locals who spend their days at sea, forging a living as fishermen. It's an occupation that has existed as long as humans have inhabited these islands. But as fish stocks decline, who knows how much longer this way of life will last? Plus, I'll be catching up with a friend and trying my hand as a beekeeper, as well as visiting one of the famed wineries that produces the famous robola that Kefalonia is known for. By now, I hope you've come to realise that there's one thing you can rely on if you ever come to Greece, and that's you can expect the unexpected. You never know what you'll find, and as much as you can plan things, no doubt you'll be surprised with what else you discover. By all means, have an itinerary, but take my advice when I tell you to leave some free time to see what unfolds.